Hello all, welcome to Serenity Gardening and Orchids. And as my friends and family know, I recently made a video where I showed you my propagated hydrangeas, but I didn't show you the method. I did have one of my frequent viewers ask me to show how I propagated them. So Miss Scott, this is just for you. I'm going to make a sandwich one, so I'm going to cut the stem kind of long, okay? And then I'll do one regular also. Okay, you guys know that's my Macassar hydrangea. And here's the cuttings. I took a short one, pretty short, and I took a long one. Make sure you get some leaves, guys, because that's where your roots are going to come from, the same place from the node where the leaves are. So make sure you get leaves. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, guys, I'm going to get cuttings from this firelight hydrangea, and this is the side that's creeping down so low, so I figured I'd take some of these off. This one. And get another one that's down low. Okay, so I have two stem cuttings. Okay, guys, let's move on. This is the cutting. Here's another cutting. Okay, guys, we're ready to get things started. And what you're going to need is, of course, your cuttings. And then you'll need some water, a jug of water. I have something to cut with, whether it's scissors or cutters, and a stick. I always use this take root growth promotion thing, rooting hormone, when I'm doing my cuttings. But guys, if you don't have this, ground cinnamon. It does the same thing, and most of you probably have it in your house. I got this especially for my orchids, but I wound up using it on my house plants and plants in general. So, a good thing to promote root growth also is ground cinnamon. Yes, the spice that you use in pies and cakes and cookies, ground cinnamon. You could use it, you could dip it in there and do the same thing I'm doing with the rooting hormone, as you will see. Let's get started, guys. Oh, I got some pots. Whatever size you want, use them. In the pot, this is a mixture of regular houseplant. I had houseplants that had, died, dried out or whatever. Pulled them out, put the dirt in a pot with some garden coir and some regular garden soil, mixed it all up, and that's where my concoction comes from. So, let's get started. We're going to start with the clippings first, and I have them sitting in some water as you work. So sit them, you don't want nothing to start to dry out. You're going to get rid of the flowers first. So just cut that flower off, and it's gone. The leaves, I fold them, and then I cut them back. So I'm going to go you need enough for photosynthesis. So look at what I'm doing, guys. You see how big that leaf is? I'm going to cut it down. And I always cut on a slant. That's just me. Cut it any way you want to. It's not rocket science. Fold it and cut. So I folded it and I'm cutting it. Okay? And I'm going to do that to all the leaves. You can see, taking a lot off, but there's enough on so that they can pull and photosynthesize for plant growth. Can't get growth without photosynthesis. Thank you, Lord. He does supply the rain and the sunshine, of course. Okay, this, you want to cut the last 2 leaves, you want to cut them completely off. That's where your roots come from, guys. Right at the mold, they come completely off. So I just take it and I pull down, it's gone. Take it, get it close, and just pull down, and it'll break, okay? Now, you want to make sure that those nodes where you just cut the leaves from must be in the dirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this back a little bit just to make sure. Probably would be in the dirt anyway. I'm just going to cut it back a little bit just to be sure, guys. I have my cutters here. I'm just going to always cut on an angle also. Okay, once you cut it, you're going to dip it in your water and then dip it in your ground cinnamon or your hormone powder. Now you want to make sure you cover those places where the leaves were, because again, that's where your roots are coming out of. So see, that's how it's looking. I'm going to make a hole. I know you was wondering why you needed a stick. Here's the stick. It goes right into the pot. Let me see if you can see. Right into the pot, and I'll put it in the middle. And I'll go down as far as I can, making sure it's big enough to fit your cutting. And the cutting goes right in. You just pinch the dirt around it to make sure it's snug as a bug. But I think that's in there pretty good. And there's your first cutting. Okay? You want to cut all of them now. One moment, I'll be right back with you. I'm going to just cut all the leaves and I'm going to cut off the flowers. One moment, please. Okay, guys, I wanted to show you again. I've already cut most of the leaves. Let me cut. I didn't cut this one because this is the one I'm going to break off. Remember, you want to go to the first set of leaves and break off. So I'll push down on the leaf. It'll come off pretty easily. Push down on the other one. Straight down. Okay, and you see the nodes? Yes, you can see them pretty good. I'm going to cut this a little closer like I did the last one, just to make sure those nodes get down into the dirt. Okay, see the cut? Okay, you dip it in the water, making sure you cover those nodes, and then dip it in your rooting powder, whether it's cinnamon or whatever. And you can see the nodes are covered. Take your stick, make your hole, down in the hole, making sure to cover those nodes. Important, cover the nodes. That's where your roots are going to come from. Okay? And that is the second mountainside hydrangea. Okay, moving on to the firelight. The firelight is more of a stem cutting. See, guys, and I'm just removing the bottom leaves. Okay, remove the bottom leaves. Now, because that's brown, I scrape it just to help with the rooting process. I scrape the brown off, and I'm just using my fingernail to scrape some of that brownness off so we get to the plant. That's where we want it to root. And I'm doing it right above a node. You see, guys, there's a node right here, okay? I'm going to take and do what I did with the other ones. Once I cut the flowers off, no flowers, guys, we don't need those flowers. Cut this flower completely off. You gotta go. And it's going. I'll cut the leaves. Halfway, guys, is good. Just so you have something left. Don't have to be precise. I did a little more than halfway. I did a little less than halfway. You're good, as long as you got some leaf left. Okay, one more. Okay, there we are. Here's the cutting. Stick it in the water, stick it in the cinnamon. You know you can get cinnamon from the dollar store, guys. You don't have to get the McCormick cinnamon, spend all your money. Dollar store cinnamon will work just as well. And like you're gonna taste it or eat it. I'm just making another hole. Stick it down in there. Put the dirt around it. That's our first firelight. Now the other firelights are a little different. Remember I told you this one had branches? So what you're going to do is you're going to cut it right down where the branch meets the other branch that it's coming from. So let me show you with my cutters. Here. Just cutting it right off of the stem. Trying to let you see and cut at the same time. Not so easy, guys. Okay, here's the first cutting. There's another branch, we'll cut that one off. Here's the second one. Now, with this main branch, guys, because it had leaves, see, I'm going to try to root it also. We'll see what we can do. So what I'm going to do is cut above the little leaves on this branch. I'm going to cut the leaves back one moment. And this is different, guys. I'm just going to see if this works because I'm curious. Again, I'm just scraping some of the brownness off and trying not to hit the mold at the same time where the leaves come from. Okay, we're going to put it in the water. We're going to put it in this rooting pattern. Make a hole. Now, because this is a branch, I'm going to give it extra help by putting plastic over it to keep the humidity. So you'll see me do that in a moment. Okay, guys, they're all done as you can see. And I'm just going to put some water on them. And I got these little trays, these little saucer-like things from the dollar store, $3 for $1.25, because the dollar store is not $1 anymore. Inflation, honey. So I'll just put the plants inside the pots. They all are. So out of those few cuttings, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants. Now the ones yesterday, I put them in bigger pots. The first ones that I showed you, and I put 3 in each pot, but it's up to you. Do whatever you want. I'll just water them in. Pushing the dirt down and around them just to make sure they're tight, guys. If you want to put more dirt in, which these look like they need more dirt, see how far down in the pot it is? You can or you can't, up to you again. But I'm going to put more dirt around them. And you don't have to see that. You got how to propagate correctly. So I'm going to finish watering them, and guys, and I did want to show you this other method. You could use a bag, get a baggie, and you take the baggie, water then of course first. You take your baggie, you use your scissors. I just tore this one, but you use the scissors, cut it right down the middle, and you want to put it over your plant just to provide humidity for the plant. and you just put it around the pot. See, this is a pain in the butt to me, so I don't do this, guys. No, I don't think so. I'll just let it be free and make sure I keep them watered. But up to you. If you're not a person who can water like all the time and you like this method better, go for it. I'm just going to make sure that this is around here good. Okay, and you have like a little humidity tent now, and it'll keep it nice and humid and moist, okay? So use the baggie method if you want, or you don't want the pain, or you don't feel like it. That's actually a freezer bag. Put them in the pots, they will be fine. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little class on hydrangea propagation. Miss Scott, I hope you get to see it. And as I always say, you're blessed to have a blessing. Try and help someone today, guys. Be blessed. And remember, you can reach me on Instagram at vbasemore1130. And, please like, comment, and subscribe. And it'll help me if you hit that nosy button and tell somebody about Serenity Gardening Orchids. Be blessed. Bye, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. I left out some important information. Keep your cuttings moist. Don't let them dry out at all because you're not going to have good success. So try to make sure they don't dry out. That's why I put the containers under them so that they will keep water in them. They would have water at all times. We don't want them soaking wet, but we do want them to have water, moisture. They need it. Again, you can try the plastic bag method if you're not going to have time to water or to watch them, but I'm retired and I have the time. And also, very important, put them in a shady part of the garden. They definitely need the shade, not hot sun. That's going to mess you up and dry them out too quickly. Put them in a shady part of your garden. Okay, be blessed. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.